Obviously, we're not the Gates Foundation, so we're not giving away billions of dollars a year. We're giving away what we give away. So for us, it's important to focus on a place like LA. It also happens to be the city I live in and the city I care about and the city I think is a pretty important city in the world. And if you think about the big problems in this country, and there are lots of them, there's environmental problems, there's financial issues, there's healthcare issues, there's defense-related issues. There's tons of big issues in this country. The only one, of which education is one, the only one where we actually know what the answer looks like, the answer to the problem is education. Anybody in this room, and probably most of you did and some of you didn't, but you can all point me to a good high school. You can actually show me what one looks like, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It takes a kid in, prepares them to learn, they learn, prepares them to go to college, and they apply and get into schools. They exist all over the country. And there's lots of great kindergartens that take kids through 9th grade to get there. So, education is also not a money problem. Trillions of dollars a year are spent on education in this country. So what happens between the money that's allocated and the school that exists is the problem. It's everything in the middle. It's all about execution. And so here we have a problem where it's not a money problem, which is pretty rare, because usually a lot of problems are based on not having enough money to solve them. And usually a lot of problems, even if you have enough money, you don't know what the answer looks like, so you're guessing, which means in guessing you're going to fuck some part of it up that you didn't even think you would screw up, right? I mean, you try and fix the healthcare system, whether what they passed, Obama passed last year, was the right answer or not, there's a lot of things that happen that he didn't expect to happen. And that's that is natural, right? It's the law of unintended consequences happens every day. Education, you don't have that. You know what they look like. There's thousands of great schools in this country, tens of thousands. So how do we fix the system to deliver the promise to those kids, right? How do we take a kindergarten in LA? Today, 2 out of 10 kindergartners who start in LAUSD will graduate high school. 2 out of 10. Now, I have a lot of friends who don't pay a lot of attention to the education problem in this country or in the city. That's fine, but here's the deal. You may not care about education, but I promise you, everybody in this room cares about your job you're gonna have, the value of the house you're gonna buy, the healthcare system that's gonna take care of you, the safety of you and your family in that city, the traffic and the environment that everybody works in, the value of the business you work at. All those things are directly linked to the success or failure of what's happening in LAUSD today. And every day we don't fix it is another day that the problem gets worse, not better. And so we're going to spend a lot of our money, and we are, funding as much as we can to change and create the result. You can't also fix, there are 700,000 kids roughly in LAUSD. There's about 50,000 kids in charter schools. There's about 60,000 kids in religious schools. You can start a charter school, that's great. They work because they're singular. But unless you figure out how to fix the 700,000 kids, one charter school is not moving the needle. You gotta fix the problem. The new superintendent, for those of you who don't know, is an all-star. He is great. Whether he can fight the entrenched parties like the union in LA and the city and all those things to create the results, nobody knows. But the one thing that's interesting about education is there aren't two sides of the argument, right? There's only one, which is what are the results of the kids who are in the system? It doesn't matter who you are or what perspective you look at it. The only thing that really matters, you're a parent, teacher, administrator, official, city politician, is the kid, is it work? It's really not hard to figure out either because they have to take tests and they either fail or pass and they drop out. So if that's your lens, our system is broken and we have to fix it and we have to fix it now. And in case you can't tell, I'm very passionate about it. It's a really big problem and it requires a lot of people doing a lot, and it's not just about money. The money, and so when I say it's not a money problem, then why does money matter? Money matters because we can play outside the system. So I can fund things even inside LAUSD that I don't have to play by the rules, right? So I can fund initiatives, I can fund employees, I can fund change agents, I can fund technology. There's lots of things we can do that can help change the system from within, from using outside money. What most people don't realize, the budget, how about this? You hear about all the problems with the city of LA and the finances. The budget of LAUSD to manage 700,000 kids is twice the budget the city of Los Angeles. And their results are failure. Oh, thanks. Be careful what you ask for, right? I might actually answer.